Do you love old cars and trucks? Join us on Bring 'em Back to Life, where we search the salvage yards and backyards of America to find that gold mine of a parts car or that restorable gem in the rough. Come with us down memory lane as we elevate the status of our salvage yards to outdoor museums of automotive history.
I don't know much about what we have, here, to be honest with you. I just know that these have been in Russ's collection for years.
Right, okay.
They've been down here. There used to be some old wreckers down here, tow trucks. And this is kind of like his personal little private collection that he has that a lot of people look at and really drool over it. They have a really good time. Everything's for sale.
And I see several, post-World War II up to first series 55 Chevys.
Yep.
And then I'll walk around and get a little closer.
More down here. We've actually had people come down here and have their wedding pictures taken here with these vehicles.
In Georgia, there's a place called Old Car City, USA. 3,500 classics and antiques from his grandfather's day, and people just come there and pay him to walk through and take pictures.
Yeah.
He doesn't part out anymore. He stopped when he realized he had an outdoor museum.
He really does. He really, really does. So we actually had models down here one time. We had this whole area blocked off, and they had a little changing booth for her over here, and she would go over there and they would snap photos, and she'd go change in something else. And
yeah, well, that's getting to be something we need to pay attention to and make sure that these old yards stay old salvage yards and museums.
Yeah, you've got to have the stuff like this that tells you the past. You can look at where we started and then look right up, like right over here where we're at now.
Right, right. So, and that's exactly what I try to show. And a lot of people want to take these and put modern drivetrains under them, but save the look. And there's
I like that old Chevy. If I was to have one, that's the one.
There's probably a 63. Do you happen to know?
65.
65. Okay.
65. Yeah, like I said, this is one of my favorites. If I had enough money to get one, that's the one I'd get.
Here's an F100. It's a little mason dump.
Yep.
Okay, that's slightly newer than the flathead, so that could be a 272, 292.
Yeah.
I don't know. It may still be the flathead, huh?
I don't think it's a flathead. I think it looks more like I rebuilt engines for like 20 years before I started here.
Okay.
It looks more like the 292 you were talking.
It does. Sometimes I put on my key in question mark. Tell me what this is.
Help me out.
Yeah, help me out. I'm not a Ford specialist. I know the era because I grew up in it.
Yeah.
There's a 54 two-door Bel Air. My first car was that exact model in 53. Had the little round parking lights.
Wow.
But they were the same. And what I noticed about a lot of these cars here, they have these Washington plates on them. See?
Yeah.
I don't see them in Connecticut.
No, I bet you don't see too many of those. I do believe I collected a Connecticut license plate here before, though. I've seen anything from Hawaii, New York, Maine, Rhode Island.
Right.
Here that we've had here, I've had to pull off.
Here's another 5-window. That's a very popular one for modern. There's a guy who designed a kit and sells it on the internet to put this era pickup on S10 and S15 chassis.
Ah.
Now that's a good idea, because then you get all the modern drivetrain with the old look. Here's an old Master Deluxe.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and it's a 2-door sedan. It's all original under there. Let's see what year it is. Probably a 47 or 8.
I'm not seeing. I see a paint.
Boy, this one's almost clean enough to make a rat rod.
Yeah.
Keep that patina, take the dents out, put a drivetrain in it. Even out and see how nicely you open that hood. You know, that's a pretty clean car actually.
Yeah, it opened up real nice.
It says somebody hit the door in the quarter, but it's not bad. Yeah, and this pickup here is a truck with a Washington plate. Look at that truck. 1970.
Like I said, we had one, the only rig I've ever seen leave here and not come back. It was one almost identical to this one.
Oh.
It was a little older. A guy named Hugh had it. And him and Max were good friends growing up with when Ralph had started this place.
So Max would have probably been Spalding.
Yes, that would be Max Spalding. That'd be Russ's dad. He's in the office.
That was Russ's dad.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I say he didn't want to be on camera either. I said no problem, you know. But now I know, you know. And there's a 49 or a 50 fastback.
Well, it looks like I'm not going to look at that tag.
No. This one is very clean also. It's just surface rust. Look how nice that stainless is. That is a really clean looking body. Even the sides, there's no rot along the bottom. It's really clean.
Yeah, and even the rust doesn't go all the way through on it.
No, it's surface.
It still looks good. It's still got all the original hardware still there too.
Yeah, it does. Yep. That's a clean car. What a nice little hot rod that would make.
Oh, let's see what we got in it.
Even the stainless in the chrome is beautiful. Looks like they had a little issue with the valves or something, but that can be remedied with a few modern parts.
Oh yeah.
Now the diehards will have to tell me what that can is. It's an overflow condenser. Like, wait a minute. What is this? Doesn't have AC, does it? What else would have a condenser? And it's hooked up to the cooling system, the radiator.
So this one here doesn't connect to. Well, none of these lines are going to help. They don't connect to anything. Although you're talking your style number, this one shows a 49 in the beginning, like the other one showed a 41.
Right.
This one shows 49.
49. So I would have been right my first shot, and that other one's just pre-World War II, 41.
Let me get that part.
Look how nice that opens. Could this? I think this had air conditioning.
It could have. Even the chrome windshield wipers are still look good. Look at that.
Yeah, they look beautiful. They sure do. This is a nice car for a hot rod. Or to restore stock. I mean, it's clean.
Yeah.
And there's one other. Oh, here's an old GMC. Kind of saw it from the side over there. I didn't realize when it said General Motors truck right on the side. Then GMC on the grill. The grill only has a couple of teeth missing. Yeah. Well, I will show everybody what's sitting here at Spalding's. And if anybody wants to talk to Russ, they'll know how to get him.
They'll know how to get a hold of him now. Yes, they will.
Well, thank you, sir.
You're quite welcome. It's been a pleasure.
We used old tractor wheels for the back, as you can see, and the front. Handlebars we just bent out of some pipe that we had laying around there. And the seat is especially interesting on this one. It came off an old-time plow and it swiveled. You sat on it and the seat swiveled with the plow, so you could steer it like that, kind of with your legs.
Right. Okay, I'm going to get a close-up of that.
Yeah, that's the first seat right there.
Was that spring part of the seat?
No, we added that spring.
Okay.
And we use all tractor seats and Briggs and Stratton motors on there. And the other one's electric, all electric.
Uh-huh.
It's got 3 electric motors, 6 big batteries underneath. It's got forward, reverse. It's got a gearbox 58-to-1 and it goes to a 2-to-1 rear end.
And those are real headlights from antique vehicles.
They are, yeah.
Do they all actually roll? And
They do, yeah.
Yep.
You can just,
uh-huh. Neat original art, for sure.
and this one here, like this handbrake on this one here. This is the brakes you go off a train engine.
Ah.
Got the scrap.
Right.
Grade cut it down to fit. So
I had to inspect a train car years ago because we built a nuclear reactor to put in the train car to transport. So I was an inspector. I had to go inspect the train car. Well, I didn't know a thing about a train car, but I had a procedure to follow. And I'm following the procedure, and I got down to the brake pads, and I said, they're all cracked. That can't be good. So I rejected it and brought it in and showed my supervisor. I said, don't ask me, but they're all cracked, and I don't know if they're supposed to be. And come to find out, they all cracked. They have minute cracks in them from the heat, but they keep right on working. But so I know what a brake pad on a rail car looks like.
and like the headlights off of a D7 Caterpillar.
Yeah, they're still yellow.
Yep.
Well, this is an interesting sight. Now, these of course are from some type of a motor or something, right?
They are. They're really hard to come by.
The electric motor.
The electric motors.
The electric motors.
Yeah.
They're all put together with V-belts.
Right.
So they all turn the same RPM, just get more torque, all three together.
So this actually will move under its own power?
Yep.
And what are these? These are fabricated wheels out of stock, right?
Well, they came in, they were fiber optic spools is what they were, and we just narrowed them up, put spacers in.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Merle built a jig so we could jig them up and keep them true, and and we cut them apart, jigged them up, and welded them back together.
Interesting.
The front end on these two trikes is interesting. That's called kudu rod, and it's actually an oil pump that they put down the ground and spin it, and it draws the oil up instead of going up and down with a pump,
right?
Plunger. It just spins and it draws the oil up. And
so those were ones that were no longer of service and wound up here as scrap.
yeah, you don't see it much anymore. That everybody likes to ask us, boy, how'd you guys twist that rod? How'd you guys twist that rod?
Wow. Okay, let's get to work on some old cars.
All right.
Thank you, Merle.
You're welcome. With the picture of Harley Earl.
Now Harley is known as the father of the Corvette. He is the designer who came up with the concept. Harley had been listening to the servicemen returning from World War II talking about the sports cars that they saw over in Europe. And he thought, America needs its own sports car. So Harley came up with this beautiful concept. Now the car was first introduced to the public in January of 1953 at the New York City Motorama. It was still a concept car at that time, but it was so well received that by June of 1953 it was in production at the Flint, Michigan assembly plant.
Corvette ever built, 638 horsepower. But remember, today's CR1 has 755 horsepower. Now, when this car was retrieved from the sinkhole, it was still drivable. The orange PPT pace car, as you saw in the video, was the first car to fall into the sinkhole. behind it we have the Mallet Hammer Corvette. Now we only had the Mallet Hammer for about 2 months, and the plan was to have it on display for a while here at the museum and then take it over to the Motorsport Park and run it on the track, but unfortunately it was destroyed. It's pretty much as they came out, yep. Now the 2009 here on the corner was the 1.5 millionth Corvette ever built. And initially it was feared that the 1.5 millionth Corvette and the Mallet Hammer were going to be lost forever because they could not be seen at the bottom of the sinkhole. They were completely covered over with dirt. So special detection equipment was brought in to help locate the 2 cars so that they could be retrieved from the sinkhole. Now as you come around to this side of the exhibit, you'll be able to go down through our glass floor and see all the way down to the bottom of the sinkhole. That's a long way down.
So this is what of those you want to go for right. Sold 100%. So let's go here.
So scene 2, right rear quarter, we're starting to work on the piece of the car that we did not restore ourselves. This reworking was someone did a long time ago.
That's right, we are just going over old bodywork, and this bodywork has lasted a very, very long time. There's no reason why it can't go a little longer. Ideally, we would love to put a brand new quarter on this to make it nice. Obviously, a brand new quarter, you don't have any of the headaches. You still have to use Bondo. I don't know if you guys watch people restoring classic cars on body shops. They do. They fill the entire car with Bondo. Entire car, top to bottom, and it block sand the whole entire thing. It's the only way to perceive perfection. And it's very hard to get a perfect quarter panel when you're doing body work, because let me tell you, body work is not fun, nor is it easy. Caleb, go find me a pen so we can put something through these holes. Or go get me a Phillips screwdriver. Actually, go in the car, there's a bolt. Go get me a bolt. Thank you, buddy. For all you wondering at home, that's my son. He will be actually doing a disc brake conversion pretty soon, so you'll have something to look forward to. So you have a 10-year-old can put disc brake setup on a 56 Chevy.
I don't see the bolt.
Alright, just go give it an ND bolt, buddy. And if you all wondered at home, this is not a whole lot of Bondo. This is actually just a skim coat. It's not going to be more than 1/16 of an inch thick. At most, it's just enough to take away the imperfections and the old damaged body parts. What I'm doing now is just making sure my holes stayed in place. We're going to re-drill new holes. No, do not touch that piece right now. We're going to re-drill holes for the front part after into the car. But we're going to take the other side for measurement so we get it right and don't mess it up. We'll do that with a line. With a line, a piece of tape to line everything up. To know we're going in the right direction. If you're wondering at home, the stuff gets really hard really fast. So it's really hard to make it perfect. And I always use 2 Bondo sticks because then you can make your work look a lot better. You see how I'm going back over it? Flattens it. Mind you, I'm not doing a lot of pressure right now. I'm only putting what pressure needs to be applied to move the Bondo around, because if I push too much, it's going to smudge it and smear it, and I'm bringing the Bondo down. If you can watch it go lower and lower in a quarter panel every time I come down, I'm actually taking material with it. As you can see in the video, it's very difficult to make it perfect, but all these lines get redone and reworked, and you see we got that little hole right there? What we're going to do, we'll steal some Bondo here. I'm going to cover it up. Reason for covering it up and messing it up is now, when I go to sand it, there won't be much to sand. It won't be a big hole. It'll be Bondo and it'll be doing its job. And these holes after you can just drill out, but you at least want to keep them as a template so you know which one's a hole and which one's not. And like I said, a quarter panel this size is really hard for an amateur person to do it. But if you want to learn and try it, just try and try. I mean, the worst you're going to do is sand it off and start over and do it again. We try to make it so everybody can understand what we're doing and how we're doing it. Can somebody do this better? 100%. This is just how I know, how I was taught, and it works good. It's the correct way. But we do the best we can to make it work. So let's try to get another batch going here, and we'll try to finish off the quarter. We're back.